Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am here with a good friend, someone I've known for many years, and a good business associate, the icon himself, Danny Ebony. How are you?
I am well, Caesar. Thank you for asking. Excited about this ball this Saturday. And yeah, we're here.
Well, first off, what is the name of the ball so the people can know?
The last minute ball, the resurrection of New England, volume one.
Well, let's get into it. So, first off, before we get into anything, let's give the viewers a little backdrop, a little history on who you are for those that may or may not know you.
Okay.
How did you get into the ballroom scene? Give them a little history: when, where, how, who.
Okay. So I actually started walking balls here in the Boston area in 1997. I was actually scouted out and founded by the icon himself, Derrick LaBeija. And Derrick, happened to find me in a club. I was hanging out, and he thought he saw me for face, and he wanted me to walk the next Boston ball, and that's how it all started.
And what house was that at the
The House
time
of
that you first?
LaBeija, the House of
So, you,
LaBeija. I started out in
so
the
your
House of
initial house was LaBeija.
Yes.
Okay. And then from LaBeija, where did you go?
So from LaBeija, I was in this area for a couple of years. I started walking. I got my OTY here in Boston, and then decided to move to Florida when I transitioned to become Father Cavalli.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that you was integral in not just the New England area, but also
Yeah,
in the Miami, Florida area.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the resurrection of New England. First off, for those, New England definitely is Boston, anything in Massachusetts,
Yep.
the Rhode Island area, Connecticut, all of those areas right there. There's definitely, who would you say is some of the pioneers of the Boston, New England area?
Well, coming into the scene back then, I got to see a lot of notables back then. Like, Derrick introduced me to people such as Rudell Prada, the icon, the fashionista. I've met, and it was introduced at that time to Alyssa when Alyssa was living here. And Alyssa was, breaking ground here, teaching the girls how to vogue. And then Deja lived here. So Deja was, this was her stomping grounds for some time. And so she spent a lot of time in the New England and the Boston area. But then, you have your locals, those really extreme notables like, Jahaira, the icon. She was an advocate. She was someone that was an activist for the trans community and for the gay community as a whole, and for ballroom as a whole. And then you have others like Indigo that, spent a lot of time in Boston promoting Boston, really pushing the agenda for Boston and the New England ballroom community. So there was a lot of people in this area that really spent a lot of time pushing New England and really stepped out of New England and walked in areas like the New York market, the Philly area, New Jersey. And so, there's a lot of notables from this area that really pushed this area.
Yeah, they're most definitely. I think when I think of God rest her soul, I definitely when you think of Boston, you think of the iconic Jahaira,
Mhm.
Balenciaga. You think of
Yep.
folks from London, from Connecticut. You
Absolutely.
think
Yep.
of Black China. You think of
Mhm.
Miss Kimmy came from Boston.
Right.
Selena.
Selena. Yep.
Um,
The legendary
yeah,
Selena.
Lethal Escada, Tio Escada. I can think of
Right.
some like hot people that definitely traveled and made their name and made moments outside of New England as well. What's the name of the place that they always had the balls? Athena. Got a shout out to
Athena,
Athena.
the legendary Athena, that
Yes.
she's been somebody that I've actually supported since moving back, and supported her functions, and been supporting this whole idea of a resurrection of New England. And so she's been in my back corner, really supporting this
Mm.
whole push to resurrect this area.
So let's take it back. What is the name of that place? They both had a lot of balls there. They had a lot of cute moments there in Boston. Then you go up the stairs at the wooden floors. Where's that at?
Oh, that was in the I can't remember off the top of my head, but that is an infamous place tons of moments were made there, with the wooden staircase that goes around. That was an infamous moment
Yes.
that Deja comes down the stairs,
Mm.
while Selvin and Jack are calling her into an LSS moment. So that's a legendary place.
Boston's had a lot of moments where Leyomi battled the Avisus.
Oh yeah,
There was a
absolutely.
Connecticut has had tons of moments. So let's get into it. An important question: when you say the resurrection of the New England scene, what do you think happened to the New England scene in the past, like let's say several to 10 years? What do you feel happened to it?
I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I think one of the main issues that the scene had, and I think it hit to heart and it hit the scene really hard, was the passing of many notables and many individuals, which is something that I am going to be talking about at this ball. Giving them a moment of silence, such as Indigo, Marsha, the icon Marsha Labeja, Charlie, Pam, Tsunami, Jahaira, Patrick, which everyone knows who Sugar Champagne is and what Sugar Champagne did for Boston, New England, and even the national scene, because she was an individual that started collecting videos and putting those moments out and trying to create those moments for individuals and that platform. And so I want to be able to kind of talk about these individuals, and that's what kind of started this whole idea of a resurrection, was when I started talking to people about these individuals that had passed. And such as my own father Derrick, and you got Jasmine, Tanaya, all these individuals that made a mark, but I felt never was able to live out that platform where we should have, that moment where Boston could have taken it to the next level, or New England could have been at the next level, and these individuals could have been those icons leading this scene with the current ones that are currently in place and the ones that are growing in those places. And so that idea of resurrection was coming from there, just from that organic place of giving back to them a moment of time that I know they would have been proud of, especially to have this new generation come out. There's a lot of people in the Kiki scene here. There's a lot of people in the ballroom community that are actually here, that go out, but they don't have a platform. And so it was me trying to give them that platform. Ironically, I happened to get a club called Platforms. And so it was just all kind of fell into place.
Well, definitely. Well, I cannot go without shouting out Peppermint Patty, Sugar Champagne,
Hmm.
Patrick. Would come to me for years for advice and just for certain ballroom history with things that she would post. So definitely shout out to Peppermint Patty. Sometimes, well, not lots of times, the people that document and archive this culture go overlooked. So definitely have to shout out Sugar Champagne for the contributions that she has made.
Absolutely.
Again, rest in peace. So
Absolutely.
let's get into it. The resurrection of New England, the love the name, the last minute ball. The ball was definitely last minute.
Yes.
When you gave me the whole logistics and schematics behind it, I loved it. And this is volume one. So now I'm assuming you are back permanently in the New England
Yes,
area, correct?
I am.
So with
Yes.
that being said, I know that this will definitely be more than just volume one. So
Yes.
let's get to it. The ball is this Saturday. Y'all are
Hmm.
giving out for the first one $2,000 in cash prize and giveaways. It's New England Year of the Year approved. It's Ballroom Throwbacks of the Year approved. The Icon Jack is on the mic. MC Paris, the commentator, is on the mic. Okay, let's talk about it. You're going very old school with this. Doors open, and the entry fee is $30. Correct? What made
Yeah.
you decide to charge $30?
Well, I wanted to kind of give something back to the community. I wanted to start slow. I wanted to start small. I didn't want to necessarily, break the bank in a sense, but I also wanted to do something just so I could get the momentum going, because this is
Mm.
just volume one. My whole idea was to create a series behind this, or several volumes to this to this this how idea of this resurrection. And so yeah, I just wanted to start off small, give back a little bit. And not, I know there's a lot of college kids. This is a college town. This is a lot of young people in this area. And so, yeah, that's where I
Well,
was
let's
at.
talk about it. The ball is not in Connecticut. It is not
No,
in Massachusetts. It is in
it's in
Rhode
Rhode
Island.
Island.
This is the first ball in Rhode Island, correct?
Yeah, Rhode Island back in the day used to have these mini balls. Like Boston used to
Mm.
be the main hub for functions, and then Rhode
Hmm.
Island would have these mini functions because I lived in Rhode Island and I had a lot of other people that lived in Rhode Island at the time. But then
Hmm.
Connecticut also hosted, many functions and also some major functions. But I just felt it sat right in the middle. It has
Hmm.
never been done. It would be the first function to be done at what I figured like this caliber, this push, this type of marketing push, and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just felt like the location was right, the timing was right, and a lot of people were interested in coming to Rhode Island for the first time, and then a lot of people actually came to Rhode Island and been here several times in passing or even to
Mm-hmm.
club because Rhode Island was known as a big club scene at one point.
Right, Providence, correct?
Yeah, Providence. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, back in the many years ago, I dated somebody in Providence many years ago. But mm, so let's talk about it. $30 entry, and you already had said Platforms Dance Club. Is this a nice club? Give us the
Yes.
ambiance of the venue.
So the venue is a legendary, sort of iconic venue. It's been around for a long time. It catered to the gay community for a very, very long time,
Love that.
and very huge supporter of ballroom. And so I just happened to make a decision on kind of reigniting that whole feel and vibe of what platforms used to be. And so that's one of the reasons why I chose that club. It's a pretty nice sized club. It has beautiful lighting, a beautiful stage setup, and ample space for the dance floor and for voguing and competition. So that was one of the reasons
Mm,
why I chose that place. Plus, it also has outside patio area, so people that want to go outside and smoke. And so, I think that was a plus for our community.
mm.
So I definitely wanted to look for something like that. And then just feasibility, parking area. It's right close to downtown. It's close to
Love that.
anywhere after the place. So like when we shut
Mm,
down, clubs and bars close here in Rhode Island at 3 in the morning on Saturdays. And
mm.
so, if we shut down at a decent time, well, you still have many places to do, and everything is in the vicinity. So it's one of the reasons why I chose that place.
Love that. So it says here the doors open at 5 and Ella says it at 6 p.m. What time do we have the venue until?
So actually, that is the one thing that I would be announcing that was going to change. The venue will be opening at 7. I do have the venue to 2 a.m.
Okay.
And so based on, the area, the timing and everything and the amount of categories, I felt that we should be able to kind of get through those categories.
Let's
However, I do have
everybody get there on time. Let's get
I
there
do
on
have a
time and have
buffer.
a good time.
The good thing is that I did talk to the club owner and I do have a buffer, because clubs are allowed to stay open till 3 a.m. here.
Well, as you said, this is more than a night. This is the resurrection. This is the rebirth of the New England
Absolutely.
ballroom scene. All categories are built on creativity and interpretation, but tonight you're racing the clock to claim your throne. Who will be the first champions to walk the very first ball in Rhode Island? Are you ready to resurrect the New England scene? Bring the taste, the look, the power, and the feel of your category to life. Make us know without a doubt why you are the living embodiment of your craft. Before the final chime, the clock is ticking, so hurry up and make your moment. And as you have here, fashion, best dressed, timeless elegance, $250. Male figure, female figure, GNC. Incorporate a clock, a watch, or an element that says, "My time is now." 3 trophies, one for the cash. Anything you want to add to that category?
I think that people should just think about what timeless elegance looks like. I think that best dress is timeless. I think fashion is timeless as long as you know how to play with the clock.
Love it. Open to all, sneaker villain, beating the clock. $200. Step into street warfare with a villain sneaker game. You've only got seconds to kill the competition. One trophy, again, $200. Anything you want to add?
I just wanted to leave it up to the sneaker villains to bring, their craft to the floor. I think that a lot of times we're very specific of what we want to see a sneaker villain kind of come out with, and we don't give them an opportunity to just be themselves. And this is me trying to let them be themselves. So I want them to
Love
really
it.
play with it.
Open to all streetwear, deadline drip. To fit you through together at the last possible minute, but it still eats. One trophy.
I think it
Pretty
speaks for itself.
straightforward.
Hmm.
Open to all bizarre, father time, extreme, twisted, avant-garde. Make the minutes melt. One trophy. I know the
So
bizarre girls are creative.
right. I think, from what I'm seeing and I'm hearing, I think they're gonna be living out that category. So I'm expecting to see some great things.
Runway, stamped in time, $350. Custom trench coat with your house name or logo, Show you own your era. Big versus small versus tall versus women versus drag versus femme queen versus All American versus legends. 8 trophies, $350. Anything you want to add to that?
No, not really. I think it's straightforward. I can't wait to see those trenches.
Okay. Open to all, new runway. First hour fresh. Blue jeans and white tee, but style like you only had an hour to make history. 1 trophy. Simple. Blue jeans, white tee.
Simple, to the point.
Realness, the era effect. $350. Thug versus schoolboy versus pretty boy versus executive versus drag versus femme queen versus trans man versus legends. Show us your chosen era. So real, we feel transported. 9 trophies, $350 to the winner. What would you like to say about this category?
A couple people have asked me about this, and it's really about reincarnating an era, whether it's an era you're from or an era that you loved. And that is bringing together, an era of fashion. So, when you think about the 80s, a lot of times you think about tracksuits, you think about a certain type of style, the Kangol hat, so on and so forth. And then when you think about the styles in the 90s and the 2000s. And so that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people to be a little creative in that, in terms of showing their realness.
Love it. Face. Stop the clock. $200. Your face freezes time. Looks are optional. Impact mandatory. Butch queens versus drags versus women versus femme queens versus trans men versus GNCs versus legends. 7 trophies, 1 for $200. Pretty straightforward. Open to all face. New face. Fresh off the clock. Blue jeans and white tee, but serve like you just punched out and came to snatch trophies. 1 trophy just for the trophy. Open to all, new face.
Right.
Open to all performance. After hours, $500. Move like the clock just struck 3 a.m. and you own the night. Dramatics versus soft and cunt versus femme queen versus drags versus women versus twist versus legends. 7 trophies, 1 for $500. What would you like to add to that?
I that I think is so straightforward. I just want the girls to perform. I really want to see them come out and go
Carry.
cuckoo. Yeah, I want to see them
carry. $500. New performance. Beat the clock. Let your performance build like a countdown. Smooth start, explosive finish. Will you own the floor before the final chime? 1 trophy. Old way versus new way. Time warp. Past meets the present in precision, style, and form. 2 trophies. 1 for old way, 1 for new way. Open to all lip sync performance. Final countdown. $100. Sell the song like it's your last 60 seconds on stage. 1 trophy. Again, $100. Open to all lip sync performance. Open to all hand performance. No time to touch. No arms. All drama. 1 trophy. Do you want to give a little bit up so that way there's no mistake with that when they walk that? When you say hand performance, no arms, all drama?
So, for those that know, there is a clear distinction between arms control and hand performance. And so we want to make sure that you're utilizing your hands to tell a story and not necessarily utilizing your entire form to tell the story. And so there's, do your research if you're a little lost on that. But I think that it is very precise, and that's why I chose hand performance rather than arms control.
Love that. Open to all, MC versus MC, time traveler. Give us a famous chant from the past with a futuristic twist. 1 trophy. I mean, for me, do y'all research, something from the past, nothing new.
Nothing new.
Hopefully there's some people come and make that hot. Open to all, new talent on time. Who wants to be in the house? From Kiki scene to mainstream ballroom, this is your shot. Rhode Island has never had a mainstream ball, and the New England scene is ready for new blood to resurrect the scene, and tonight we call upon you. This category is for new talent who has never been in a mainstream house, but is ready to show they belong. Bring your best effect in any category style you want to walk in the future. Runway, performance, face, realness, etc. And prove you have what it takes to get scouted. 4 trophies. I love this. Please explain exactly for the people that may not understand.
So it's kind of giving the, those new new competitors, those new individuals that are coming from the Kiki scene, a platform to be able to perform and not necessarily feel like they have constraints under that particular category. This is fresh. This is like a new, new kind of category to give them that sense of ease in a sense.
Mm.
Because when we kind of define people under a specific category, people get nervous and people feel like they can't perform at their best. So I felt like I wanted to do something for new talent, knowing
Mm.
that they're going to be judged under that category of new talent. Um, but give them the platform. There's a huge amount of individuals here that want that platform, and especially from the Kiki scene. So I felt that this would be a good time for them.
Love that. Open to all sex after midnight, $200. When the clock strikes 12, all your sins come out. Capway versus Junior versus Senior versus Legends versus Femme Queen versus Women. 6 trophies. Anything you want to add to that?
Um, just sell it. Just sell it. Just sell it after midnight.
Love it. And as you put on here, October 4th, which is this Saturday, is your chance to make your mark and create new history in our new chapter in New England. Thank you to all the houses that have built New England's unforgettable legacy, what they shaped, what they contributed to the talent, culture, and the art and the beauty of history on this ballroom scene. Your impact is timeless and your legacy continues to shine. Here's to more years of the New England ballroom excellence. It's your moment, it's your minute, it's your last chance to make history. The clock is ticking, and when the time strikes, only the sharpest will survive. So, with all of that being said, Danny, please go into a little detail what you really want to accomplish as a whole from this weekend. Because hearing the categories is very old school. They're very simple, straight to the point. It's
Mhm,
nothing really complex.
mhm,
I think it's really based on just people looking their best and feeling their best when they come out. I don't think it's anything. It's definitely giving last minute. And what are you going to
mhm.
call the next one? Is it going to be another last minute ball, or is it going to be called the next minute? It should be called the next minute.
The
But
next minute, right.
what are you hoping to accomplish? When it's all said and done this weekend in the first installment.
I think what I would like to accomplish is kind of get everyone's gears going and looking forward to what the future looks like for New England. I'm hoping and praying that this would bring not only about new blood, but also resurrect some of the old blood to either
Mm,
go back out there, either get on the floor, push out for recruiting, getting into leadership, to
mm,
rebuild the scene because I think it takes a village to rebuild the scene. It's not just one house, it's not just one leader, one individual. I myself cannot rebuild and resurrect New England. I can be the catalyst or I could be an individual that can open the door for individuals, but it's going to take the entire scene and all its leaders and every individual that follows them to build this scene together with me. And so what I'm looking for is that coming together moment where the members of from Boston, Connecticut, and Rhode
mm.
Island and their leaders can come together to keep pushing forward this scene. So the next function that's coming along in January can be as hot as this one. And then, I do have a teaser flyer that's coming out and some information that's coming out because I'm already pushing forward for the
Will
next
that would that be in Providence or would that be in one of the other? Okay.
I'm going to be,
What?
oh no, the next function. No, actually,
Yeah,
the next function is going to be in another city.
I love that. What I was going to say to you is that what I'm hoping for, in my observation, hearing you, and knowing how you are, I think this will be great if coming from this, y'all can actually like resurrect the New England Alliance with those leaders
Absolutely.
and from old and new, just to get it going. That way, the voice and the platform can start being rebuilt to be able to start making Boston hot again. And I think that if y'all get the right amount of people, old and new, with strong ideas and a good vision, I can definitely see, within the next 18 months, like it becoming one of those hot spots again, truthfully, as long as you have the right people that all have a clear vision and you're all on the same page, just to
and
say.
and the good thing is so that the community knows that's one of the reasons why it is New England OTY approved, because
Mm,
some of the leaders have already congregated together collectively to try to start at building as we still continue to build the scene.
mm,
So we're rewriting, as you well know, I've assisted in writing the rules and regs for cities and states and so on and so forth. So
mm.
I'm helping them build that right now so that everything is more formulated, more structured, and it falls in line with every city and state out there so that every OTY represents the same way it represents in anywhere else.
I love that. So again, for those, just to reiterate everything, the ball is this Saturday, the last minute ball, the resurrection of New England. They're giving out over $2,000. The categories are pretty straight forward. This ball is also hosted, don't want to forget, by Danny and the legendary catch boy Gucci as well.
Yep.
It is New England of the Year approved, Ballroom Throwbacks of the Year approved. We will have the Icon Jack and Paris on the mic. It is $30 entry fee, $30 entry fee at Platforms Dance Club in Rhode Island. And make sure you are there on time. Come out, have a great time, win, lose, or draw. And all that happened, we'll be having a volume 2 with no issue.
Right, right. And I still have Posh VIP open for advanced ticketing. It's $5 off through Posh VIP through advanced ticketing, and I have that leading up until the ball doors open.
Well, when I send you this link and you post it, make sure you put all that inside the link, you know, when you post it. That way people can know they have a few more days to get their Posh VIP.
Perfect.
Well, thank you, Danny, so much. It's always wonderful talking to you. I'm very excited for you. I think this is a great thing you're doing for New England. I know you've done some great things in Florida, so I think this is going to be a great thing that you're doing here.
Thank you, Caesar, and it was a pleasure. And I'm so happy to have you on board.
Yes, most
with
definitely.
us. I'm excited to have Ballroom Throwbacks in the building. This is an exciting moment for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Danny.